Welcome to an epic 5 versus 5 war. We have Golden X versus EWU eSports, and it has already started. We're 20 or 30 seconds behind schedule here. We have Golden X EWU who have started us off. So this is a clan they have set up primarily for this tournament, and why we're a little bit behind schedule, because I was trying to find them and they've thrown EWU at the end of their name. Not to worry guys, looks like we had a kill squad down to the bottom area, a queen charge to get that town hall for the hog riders and the miners to start us off on the left hand side. Now you will get to see every single attack of this war. Who do you think is going to win? Golden X won their first round matchup against One Hive, so they will very much be the favourites. EWU didn't get the victory in their first matchup, but there's 3 rounds of this tournament, so we have to make sure that you're in the top 2 in order to qualify. Unfortunately for Golden X, the hog riders and the miners haven't got their job done, and it is going to be a lower percentage 2-star. Now it's definitely not anything to grumble about into the 70s, but certainly what we have seen in previous wars in terms of this format is that 70% certainly just isn't enough. You've got to be looking at the high 80s to 90% if you're counting on percentage. That is the end of the attack, and it is 74% for Vortex. And very quickly, before we get into the next attack, because you're going to see every single one of them, let's have a look at the start of the attack. A little bit untraditional for you, starting mid-attack and going to the middle. Maybe we should start video series like that, where we say, what do you think happened? And then we look back. Or we could say, what do you think will happen? And then we flash it across to it. It would be pretty interesting. Let's times 4 it. We had the queen charge coming into this area. Triple ice golem. The king used to set the funnel. And this is where we then joined in. However, we're going to be late on the next attack if we're not careful. And it is EWU eSports starting out with the wall wrecker, the king and queen, in order to just break into this central area. Delayed deployment of the healers in order to make sure they did not go onto the ice golem and pecker that was inside the wall wrecker. So very nice deployment there, just waiting on the healer deployment in order to ensure they go to the queen. That is one thing that you can do in order to guarantee that, or you can adjust the troops that you take in the wall wrecker so that the healers don't accidentally heal the wrong troop. Now he's getting pretty good value here starting out, and it is going to be the queen who uses that ability to get through the eagle, the scattershot and the multi. So a very good start here with the hog riders to try and finish off. Going to be able to get that multi down, switch across to the wizard tower, so a good proportion of splash damage down, and more than likely the hog riders starting from this 10 o'clock section. Here they come into the cannon and the mortar, a good wide spread in order to control their pathing. I do like the use of that ice golem as well, just to tank initially as the royal champion comes in, and this is one thing that really benefits that new hero, sending her in alongside the hog riders to take down enemy heroes, since the hog riders cannot fight back. The troll Tesla farm draws his troops around the town hall. Now look at this guys, the town hall not active, doesn't have anything to activate it, and how is he going to get back across to it? The hog riders have gone, the Grand Warden's ability will have to be used. This is scary for EWU eSports, because this is a single attack format war, and it looks like it could be a 1-star guys. The royal champion could be his only hope, but with a full health town hall, he's got nothing left in the pocket, nothing for plan B. Uses the Grand Warden's ability, gets the seeking shield onto the town hall, but the expo swiping at the royal champion takes her down, and the town hall is left standing. Nothing he can do but send balloons into that area who will get shredded before they even get to the town hall. If only he had a freeze or anything, he could get to it, but the balloons go down, and it is a 1-star for the EWU. Talk about a crazy start, getting in late and then end-to-end action. We thought that the EWU Golden X attack was a low percentage, but they got the 2-star, and that is all you need lead if your opponent gets the 1-star. But what is going to happen moving through? Definitely not what they need. Are Golden X going to take advantage here? Didn't quite get the high enough percentage in the first attack, but at least they got the 2 stars and they're already in the lead, so it's pretty much as good as a 3 versus a 2-star. Who cares when you're a star in the lead? Now we've got to give a big shout out to Golden X. They have been tearing it up lately. I believe they finished 10th in the Clan War League's Champion 1. We could clarify that on the leaderboards. In fact, I will do it after this attack, but they tore that previous division up. They did tremendously well. This one is the Yeti Smash to start us off with the Grand Warden. Pretty safe, not needing to use them healers initially. Can wait and just make sure that he doesn't hit a black bomb initially. And then comes the slow deployment of the balloon. The E-Drag can very nicely create the funnel, but the buildings are well spaced out apart, so the E-Drag isn't actually going to get through that area too quickly, but we can see what's happening here. We're going to have the Yeti and the P.E.K.K.A drawn straight in towards this town hall. The E-Drag veers off to the left hand side though, which actually doesn't help his funnel. If anything, it makes his funnel worse. The E-Drag's got to get another shot off here. He does. Takes out that area, and that is a much better funnel. Will now hopefully draw them in, but that one archer tower is a little bit tricky. He might lose a lot of P.E.K.K.A here, guys. They're going to go to the archer tower, and then they're not coming back in. They're off. They've gone. See you later. We're not going to that town hall. We're going around the outside. So the E-Drag deployment could have been better and could have been placed further around. The town hall goes down, so he doesn't have to worry about that. I think the Warren's ability was even missed there. This is crazy, guys. Mistake after mistake. The Hog Riders now come across to this far side with the Queen's ability. The heal spell is a good use in order to get through this top area, but with the P.E.K.K.A on the outside and now nothing in the middle but the Barbarian King and 1 healer, it is again going to be a lower percent for Golden X. What can they get here? He's still got some Hog Riders. Thankfully, the King is tanking this Wizard Tower for the Hog Riders to get through. Do not tell me that this is going to be a high percentage. Wow, it is, guys. It's going to be into the 80s. Golden X will be very happy with that, because certainly not getting that funnel up hasn't helped them out. Are you kidding me? They're still going, guys. This is intense. The Royal Champion is going to go down any minute, but by being able to swipe off some of them defenses, it's going to help Golden X to a near 90% 2-star. Certainly not what we expected following the start of this attack, but it puts them well in the lead versus EWU, who did only get that 1-star. So now EWU have got to try and get a 3-star to even things up here, or the war could slip right out of their hands before they even know it. 92%. We have a dragon attack from the EWU now, and they need a 3-star. We've seen previously with INTZ that Marinol got the job done with the drag bat. This one is more of the masked dragons, probably a bit more popular at Town Hall 13, and here they come, using the wall breakers to get to the Town Hall. So an interesting approach, just taking out that Town Hall with a Sui portion, and notice the sweepers, one pointed to the northwest, one pointed to the northeast, so we can assume that the south is where the dragons will come in. The Queen is going to get this town hall nice and early. The ability is used. It would be very helpful if she could get to the air defense, but unfortunately she's not going to. Might have froze the king there if it was me, but he decides not to, and he is going to get the air defense either way. That was pretty fortunate to get that, but it leads the dragons into a very nice approach here. Now we can assume the Stone Slammer will come in from 7 o'clock and the dragons will come straight in from the 4 to 5 o'clock section. That's what I'm assuming, but he's wasting a bit of time here trying to pull the balloons and the Lava Hound around the base. Now comes the Stone Slammer from 6 o'clock with 1 dragon, and here's the rest of the dragons from 4 to 5, exactly as predicted. The Stone Slammer is going to be able to get the Multi-Inferno and probably just have another couple of dragons, although balloons could be in there as well. It is dragons as well though, with that air defense close by. definitely didn't want to have too many balloons. He's got a whole host of dragons coming through here. They are getting in range of the scatter shot. The Lava Hounds come back across, so it's almost worse now because the Lava Hound is in the center of the base for the dragons to deal with. Loved the Royal Champion's ability. That is what I keep talking about, using it early to get an air defense and protect your dragons. Through they come. I loved that freeze spell as well, clipping the air defense but also the eagle, but the dragons caught in the tornado trap means they're going to get wiped out by this air defense. Can they move across? They go the wrong way. They go to the archer tower. If he had any glimmer of hope, it would have been if the dragons went to the air defense, but unfortunately they go left and now they've had to pop the Lava Hound. So with 30 seconds left, EWU are moving on up. They've got the 2-star, they've got the good percentage 2-star, and a little bit unfortunate there as well. You've got to admit, if he had a better split of the dragons, which is often difficult to control, could have got that air defense, and then there's not a lot left in here, not to mention just pulling and messing around with the Lava Hound. He's got good health on the dragons, but only 5 seconds left. If he was able to control that Lava Hound a little bit better, there's no doubt in my mind that this would have been a 3-star and it would have got EWU right back into this. Golden X with Harry wanting to push themselves further ahead, so EWU have given themselves a little bit of a lifeline. They are still 1-star behind, but their confidence is certainly going to be better after that dragon attack. Now, we clarified in between attacks, and Golden X did finish 10th best clan in the world as part of the Clan War Leagues for that previous season in Champion 1. You can look in-game, obviously, if you're watching this at the time, and you will see Golden X right up there in 10th. So they've got the caliber, they've got the momentum to get this done. Unfortunately, overlaps the rage spells. You've got to admit, that's a really interesting play. It allows him to shift his focus to the right-hand side, but he wastes around about, I want to say, 10 seconds of that rage spell. So definitely could have been held on to. You've got to admit, that could cost him. 2 rage spells like that is definitely not what was needed. He might not have even needed that second rage. Could have got away with just the one, I feel. However, we move forward. Now uses another rage, but there's not many point defense on the queen. So again, an interesting rage there. I don't feel that rage needed to come in till now. That's when the rage could have came in. But he just wants to start with the miners and the hog riders. The queen is now going to go down. She's got the ability, but after that, she's going to take a lot of damage. Actually, then there's not a lot on her. The miners and hog riders could take over. Ideally, if the healers swap to the miners and hogs, it would be a better situation. There's a lot going on in the center. Hog riders caught in the tornado trap, so has to use another heal. Royal Champion trying to take down that queen alongside the miners, successfully does so, but using up all of them spells early leaves him short to the back end of the base, and now everything goes down. Uses a heal onto the hogs, but it's a little too late. We have nothing left to help take out this base. The Tesla farm pretty much gets wiped out by the Grand Warden's ability, but you've got to admit, if he could have used the rage spells better, or maybe one less rage and took a heal spell, would it have been different? He ultimately just ran out of steam towards the end of the attack. Just ran out. 40 seconds. The queen could still get this done, guys. Don't say it's over till it's over. An extra heal for the hogs would have most certainly got this done. The Grand Warden, unfortunately, not out of range of the Archer Tower. We've got 30 seconds. The storage could be the saviour here for EWU, because if Golden X get the 3-star here, they certainly are a mile behind. The Queen is not going to get through this, but that just shows you how close it was, and a little bit more precision with the spells, or a little bit better planning. Often it's difficult to know how many rages you're going to need. It's easy to say right now, but it's a 99 Golden X. Oh my word, super close for them. Can EWU get the 3-star? And that would move them into the lead. It is Brian with the Queen Charge miners in order to try and get this. Now remember, if EWU get this, not only are they in the lead, But the momentum is certainly on their side as well, and this war would be flipped on its head. EWU eSports have to get a 3-star here, and it is super intense. I completely agree. Let's go EWU. Gets that funnel beautifully set up, very cheaply as well. Just a a baby dragon and the king, and the queen will now walk right into the inside. Now he's got to be careful because he's got a cannon and 2 expos on that queen. So as soon as the rage starts to wear off, he's got to freeze the expos or get another rage in. He doesn't have a freeze, so the rage has to be used. Down she comes. Now the expos might swap onto the healers here as well, so he's got to be careful of that. But once the town hall's down, no doubt the miners will be starting. There is the siege barracks at the top. An interesting approach to come in from 10 o'clock with the miners, because they have a huge portion of the base to get through here. But the royal champion will hopefully try and help thin that out. Now I would have maybe got that royal champion in a little bit quicker, and right from this 10 o'clock section. Here she comes from the 10 o'clock section, but I think a little bit quicker might have helped miner pathing here. They're onto the multi, they come through. He's still got a good amount of miners, but look at the spread though. He's got to split the heal spells. Gets a bit fortunate that they come into the middle all together. This is looking good for EWU though. He's got one more heal spell for the back end. With the queen's ability, it is wrecked. It is absolutely wrecked. And EWU go from a 1-star to a high percentage 2 to a 3-star and take the lead. You couldn't have written it. Look at the swag heal as well. Talk about confidence being high. EWU tearing it apart, taking the 10th clan in the world and ripping them to shreds at the moment. It is 6-all, and now we have a war on our hands because EWU take the lead. Is Karma going to fight back? Golden X now behind and having to fight back. Who would have thought it? Now often you think with the 5v5 wars that one mistake and that could be it. And it could be, but this war is proof that as a team you can fight back, and EWU are now in the driving seat with this one. So Golden X will be wanting this 3-star. They've gone back to using the Yetis. I love the use of this bowler at the bottom just to take out these 2 buildings. That will help to drive the troops in towards the town hall. So a very good start here from Golden X. Using the Barbarian King to take out the enemy king, always a wise move when he's at the edge of the base, and it means that the siege barracks with the P.E.K.K.A. and the Wizards can help to take out that left-hand side, because often with the Yeti Smash, it's keeping your troops on the inside of the base and maintaining that funnel. So I feel like this is going to be done well in this attack. It is an amazing start. We've only got 1 scatter shot, the other is at the back, and often that is what can mess this attack up as well, if you've got 2 scatter shots to deal with at the same time. So this is looking amazing for Karma. I think we're en route for a 3-star here, but I don't want to speak too soon. I love the use of that heal spell as well, because we've got 2 multis, a scatter shot and a wizard tower, so intense damage coming through. The heal spell does help out, but the Yeti mites are bouncing everywhere to try and help out. We've got a couple of loons onto the outside archer towers coming through. We've still got the royal champion's ability. It's looking good here for Karma and Golden X. It is going to be one heck of a finish as EW have got their momentum, but Golden X not going out without a fight. Karma biting back. 3 stars it is going to be. That was beautiful from start to finish. What a great and efficient funnel. Getting the Yetis into the center and maintaining that funnel through the base itself. You have to make sure that the Yeti don't split off too far once they get into the center, and that was a beautiful attack to keep Golden X in this. And now EWU have to get another 3-star. They thought they had fought back. They thought they had done what they need to do, and now they find themselves again 3 stars behind. I wish Alex all of the best of luck. You never know what's going to happen. When these wars start off, you might get 2-3 stars right off the bat, and that might be it. Or you might get the 1-star But then you have the most intense war ever, and that is exactly what this is. You guys that have stuck through this are watching a masterclass, and these intense wars are my favorite. How about you? I personally love when they are just super close and super intense. The Hog Riders and the Miners. Hybrid attack is Alex's method of choice. The Queen holds on to the ability with everything she's got. Wow, that was close, and a beautiful Queen charge to start us off. You've got to admit that, again, Nerves of Steel. The automatic ability certainly helps with that, but the rage spells as well on this one was perfect. Beautifully overlapped to keep the Queen alive, but we do worry that he is taking a little bit of time here. Now, with the hybrid style attack, you've got to start getting it in at around about 145. If you're waiting down to that 130 mark, often you can time fail because the Hog Riders might slow you down in terms of the Miners getting caught up on other buildings. But the pathing is beautiful here. The siege barracks will no doubt be used at 6 o'clock, I would feel. No, it is not. It is used down at 8 o'clock. I thought the Miners and Hogs would come in here, as they do, but he's got to be careful of this 6 o'clock area. If the Miners get caught into that area and not swoop into the right hand side of your screen, then it could be dangerous. The Royal Champion does come down to this area, but remember, the Miners attack anything. He wants the Miners to keep on the inside of the base. That is the hope. I would maybe press this Royal Champion's ability to just get these Teslas down and keep the Hog Riders on the inside. Come on, you can do this. But the Miners are caught on the outside. He's already lost half of his Miners, but some of them are still in there with the Hogs. He's still got that heal spell. The Queen is going to reach across and get the enemy Queen, which is going to help with some of these Hog Riders. Royal Champion's ability has been held onto, though, and that is the most epic freeze spell that we could have got. Onto the Wizard Tower, onto the multi, but everything evades the multi-inferno. Royal Champion steps up and is going to get that with the ability. It's going to be a 3-star for EWU, and again they take the lead. Moving to the final attacks of this war, it is so close. A 3-star it is. Alex doing what he needs to do. Is the EWU moving forward with the momentum? Golden X certainly has it on their side as well, and with just one attack left, it is 9-9, and percentage is super close. It's anyone's game. What an intense matchup. One of the most intense I have ever seen. So here it is. Golden X with their final attack. They are behind on percentage. Can they get back-to-back 3-stars and really put them I can't even explain how this is. Can they do it? And EWU has to respond again for the 3rd time. Even if they get a high percentage, it could be enough. But they are indeed 10% behind. They're 2% behind, but times by 5, that is 10% in real time in terms of these two bases. The mass Yetis is what is going to be used. Often we do see a mixture of the Yeti and P.E.K.K.A, but this is more of a Yeti attack. Just a couple of P.E.K.K.A, and assumably we're coming into the Eagle Artillery. Wow! I mean, Golden X, they're not messing around. This is a 1-attack format, and they're coming in from the opposite side of the Town Hall. No Stone Slammer as a backup plan. He's got 4 Earthquakes. He can't directly access the Town Hall here. This is Nerves of Steel. Dave Won't Rage is doing the attack all out. He's not even going for the 2-star. If he doesn't get the Town Hall, it is all but lost. But now, if you weren't excited, now you've got to be. Royal Champion trying to swipe out that right-hand side with the Hog Riders, driving the Yeti straight into the middle. The healers trying to do what they can. Nice use of that Queen's ability to get that scatter shot down ASAP. Drive the Yeti to that Town Hall, and he is most certainly going to get it. It does pop now, and the Yeti get to this area, so the Yeti Mites under Rage will dive straight onto the Town Hall and try and take that down. The Queen is getting close to its range as well. 50, close to 60%. The Town Hall goes down, so he can just breathe a little bit, as he knows he's got the 2-star, but what percentage will they get? He's still got a lot to deploy here. King's ability, Royal Champion's ability, and a balloon. I would be debating using the balloon maybe onto the mortar or the archer tower, because the air defense will be within range. He decides to use it on the mortar, gets that down. Oh, the Royal Champion's ability, what am I thinking? That takes down the air defense, and what do you know it? Again, the nerves we've seen in this war has been incredible. Coming in from the opposite side of the base, all out for the 3-star, and Golden X showing you why they finished in the top 10 for that Clan War Leagues. 3 stars it is. EWU have to fight back again, but can they do it for the 3rd time? If they get a 3-star, they are ahead on percentage, but they've got to get a 3. It all comes down to the stars. We have seen the most epic war. Let me know if you've seen a war more crazy than this, but I certainly haven't. It has to be a 3-star now from EWU to get their 3rd 3-star to fight back for the 3rd time, and that will mean they win on percentage. Here we go. Pablo with the most intense attack. This is for the win, and it has to be a 3-star. It has to be 3 stars for EWU for them to win. So they did lose their previous war against Costa Rica Drac 13-11. And Golden X won 12-11 versus One Hive. So Golden X will really be putting themselves into a driving seat if they win this, but EWU will be fighting into round 3. Costa Rica Drac is Team Queso. Thank you for that. So, the Queen stepping in to the town hall here. She's walking. Oh my word, get yourself in. She has not. She's gone. The king. Oh, she's back. She is back. Talk about end-to-end stuff. Talk about heartbreaking. Is he going to use a freeze here? He wants to save that queen's ability. He manages to get through, but he's got 3 expos on the queen. He does decide to freeze 2 of them. A little bit late for me, but that's probably just because I do not have the nerves that these guys have. They managed to get through that. He's onto the town hall now here as well. He's got to freeze them expos again for me, but maybe he wants to freeze it. No, he doesn't. He's just waiting on. Maybe he wants to save under the ability. He doesn't even need any of them. He doesn't need any of them. I love the siege barracks down to the bottom as well, just helping to create that funnel. Early Grand Warden's ability, interesting to get through the eagle and the scatter shot. Hog Riders caught in the tornado trap, but miners, they don't care. The queen did not get the scatter shot though. That could be huge moving through here, but he's got a lot of miners, a lot of hogs. It goes down. He's got a heal. He's got a rage. He's got the Royal Champion's ability. It's looking more and more like a 3-star, and a super intense ending to this war. The Royal Champion under rage with the healers gets through the king, and with that ability it's looking more and more like a 3. He's got a whole host of miners and hogs on the outside. He's got to start with these wizards as well to try and help take these buildings out just as fast as possible. Try and redirect the miners in. The Royal Champion though takes down the multi. The ability will be used in a second to wipe out defenses, and it's going to be a win for EWU. I cannot believe it. This is incredible. The most amazing comeback in Clash of Clans history from a 1-star, miles behind. They are going to get this one. It is a 3-star. In the end, they needed 3 3-stars, fresh hits at Town Hall 13 to take the victory, and they have done it. The EWU eSports take out Golden X. 95% total destruction despite an opening 1-star. The most epic war in Clash of Clans history. That was incredible.